Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ & Sons and our Planet Coaster series here in Austin's Carnival that we've got going on with putting in our final coaster. And before we do that, I want to get to a few updates that you probably see as a little different. I have added in a child's I guess child's area. There's just a few flat rides, kind of space filler, but they are more child themed, like that little roundabout type thing. It's got, I guess, very, very miniature Ferris wheel type setup that people really seem to be enjoying, I guess. We got that with a little parachute drop and then this little goofy ride that's all covered up. I don't know what that's called. It looks like a Chingale donut, you know what I mean? But we've got that going in. And then I also put in an arcade here. And I was thinking of this arcade as I think of Chuck E. Cheese. As you see that we have the restaurant. Come here, let's see. Let's go look at the menu. Boom, pizza, pasta, salad, dessert. Think of Chuck E. Cheese. That was the idea behind it, at least. It's the first little arcade. I'm gonna try to work on figuring out how to make one that's not so. I don't want to say so colorful because I like how it looks, but I don't know. It feels off kind of for the area, but I do like how it came about. I like the fact it's got the ramp section, the stairs, the flowers that go in front of it. It's got the games, the pizza, the restaurant. It's got all of that stuff. So let me click on these little pigeons. It's in the old roller coaster tycoon games. Like you click on the pigeon, it would like poof. So apparently not in Planet Coaster 2. All right. Well, I gave it my best shot, you know. So let's get back to business. Here is where our new coaster and the final actual coaster to the park is going to go. And, you know, I think I've been arguing with myself in terms of trying to make a dueling coaster or launch. And I can just safely say I've just started dealing with dueling coasters. I'm definitely not ready to deal with a dueling launch coaster. And I did want it to have that launch aspect. I want this to be more of a sci-fi kind of themed type of ride here. So that's what I was going with and the thought process behind it. So it's really looking at the different kind of launch coasters that we have available. I know that RMC, I thought about putting in an RMC hybrid. I think you can actually launch those. But it just didn't feel right. Like a part of it, I toyed around with it, and it just didn't feel right putting it in this park. And with what I had in mind for how I wanted this ride to come out, it really didn't fit. I guess the aesthetic of it, the motif of it. We will try to put one in. We will try to do something like that as we go on. I just need to get more comfortable. I definitely do want to work on putting in a dueling kind of launch coaster, so I will work to get more comfortable with that. But it just couldn't really make it fit for right now. So we do have this launch one, and I think it works. It's going to work out pretty well, right? We're going to have it right here in front. So it seals off pretty much the path edge. Like this is where the path is going to end. We are going to end up putting down the entrance. We're going to put down the exit building, all pretty much right there. But this is essentially the very end of the park. As we look to kind of raise that up, and let me do my usual. Let's go get this 4-meter. Plop that bad boy down. Let me go back to the coaster. Come on. Here we go. Turn it. Come on. Didn't have my angle snap on. Yeah, let me redo this again. Come on. And angle snap. Boom. Alright. So angle snap is on. Now, what? Oh, God. Clicking on the wrong damn buttons. All right, let me go ahead and set up the direction at least of the station I want it to be. We'll get that in. I'm going to get this thing raised up, and we are going to get designing on the coaster. I want it to be fast. I want it to have a lot of quick turns, multiple inversions. And I'm thinking of more sci-fi theme-esque. You know what I'm saying? I think that would turn out pretty good. And going to see what we can put together here. I truly am, but I think we're going to get a pretty viable type product in this park, and it's going to actually fit really well in this back area of the park. So, all right, that should be good enough. And I think, yeah, so we can put kind of an entranceway and the exit, take up this whole space right back here. And yeah, should be good. So let's go ahead and jump into the first update right about now. Here we go. The layout is complete. Now, this did take me a little while to actually finish. And I do have a block section, so I'm running 2 trains on it at one time. That should help out with the queue line. And I like that I've semi-figured that out, the block section, so I kind of put those in when I can. But it did turn out pretty damn well coming in here, right? And so a couple different things that we're going to be looking to go with. Obviously, I'm going to go with a sci-fi kind of theme. And part of using the sci-fi theme, the buildings are a little bit more plain, so I can play around with those a little bit. But I think it'll help out with kind of the tunneling for the launch section, because I want to keep that in a tunnel. I want to keep the entrance back into the station in kind of a tunnel setup. So I think it's going to kind of really help out with that quite a bit. But if you look at the coaster going around those turns, it's a lot of high-speed turns. We had stuff set up pretty well. We're about a 6 on the excitement. For some reason, it's one point it has it showed it at 6, and I've seen it at 5.7 without making any actual changes. So I'm not too sure what's happening on that. But, you know, it's kind of one of those it is what it is situations. I'll take a 5.7 on the excitement. Sure, it's pink instead of green, but hey, you live and you let live. You know what I'm saying? So we did get it timed out, so everything kind of matches up with regards to the block section, running the multiple coaster trains. Now, once the peeps are involved, that is going to kind of change things. That I do know for a fact. So we'll kind of keep it going. Now, all these inversions are done by hand, which is why they look pretty wonky from that first massive corkscrew to these turns right here. I guess the little half loops, I forgot what that's called, going into the second launch. And I did put in a second launch, and you can see right there at the end is where I did put a block section in just to time it out. I mean, it works, and let's just face it, if it did get off timed, the car would pretty much stop right there. So everything was pretty much custom made on this coaster, and so I really like how it turned out. I think we did a good job with it. It carries pretty good speed all the way through and around. And so what we're going to really kind of get into is the decorating of this ride as we build it out. Like I said, it's a more sci-fi themed. Think of, I don't want to say Mars Attacks because that movie was ridiculous, but it did have Jack Nicholson in it. I'll give him that. Think of more kind of an alien type of invasion, right? Good thing about that is I don't have to change the track and the track color too much. But that's kind of what we're going to be going with, slightly. Things always change as you build. So yeah, we might change it as we go along, but that's the idea we're coming in with. So we have plenty of space between the inversions, between the tight turns. I think we have plenty of space to make a lot of different cool things happen with this coaster and get it to really a pretty solid ride overall. I think we're going to be good to go there. And like I say, just having really the timing of these damn block sections, that was the hardest part. I mean, it worked out, don't get me wrong. Like, it definitely worked out, but it gave me fits, to say the least. So yeah. So now what I was thinking about it when it comes to pathing, right? Normally I would build kind of the path all the way out and maybe go under the coaster. I want to think a little differently. Okay, so as far as an exit, here's where pretty much the exit's going to go. So we're going to bring the path around here, and this is going to be the exit building right there in this back corner. That's a massive building. I don't think I'm going to end up making it that size. We'll have to kind of see. think that is kind of the exit building there, right? Oop, drew this one. That's where the entrance is actually going to be lined up at. So this is where we're going to kind of map stuff out. And I got this idea of doing it like this from Nerd Chacho, the way he does his key lines and everything. It's a lot better at it than I am, but I'm trying. I'm trying. The gravel that we're putting down is going to be more for the entrance. And I did want to kind of bring it over the track in the station and kind of just zigzag it in and around over here. Out in front, and then boom, have it meet up right in that area. So I don't know exactly if we're going to get too cattle pinned with it. I mean, I think obviously there's going to be some. The interesting part for me is going to be taking it up and over in the station, up and over to the entrance side instead of doing my usual kind of routing the pathway underneath the ride. So it's definitely going to be interesting, but I'm looking forward to kind of putting that out and getting this station and everything built. It's going to be a fun one as we go along. I'm really excited to kind of get this thing underway. So we should have our next update on this ride coming up just about now. Boom. Look at what we have here. It looks pretty wonky. I don't think this really articulates space base, or something like that. But I think it turns out pretty good. And this is a good setup, a good skeleton. We have the launch area tunneled in like I was really wanting it to be. Same thing with the entrance into the station. That is too. So I think it turns out pretty well. Now that pathing just barely goes over top, just really does. Now this room, it is a pretty detailed room. I will give it that. At least it's detailed for my standards. I'm not used to doing it that way, but it's kind of one of those it is what it is situations. And I think this ride really does kind of call for it. So you see the ride get pushed on through here. We have these space doors. It shows it really bright and sunny. That is enclosed all the way there at the end. I'm not sure why it shows it like that, but it just does. So you get launched out, back doors open, boom, into the coaster you go. And I really like how that kind of thrust you in there that way. So see what I mean? It's not like bright and sunny over here. It just shows it like that from a distance. Maybe it's just because it's daytime out. I don't really know, but whoa. Bright light, bright light. It is what it is in that situation. So overall, I think we had a really good one. That door gets really close to hitting, but I have already confirmed they do not make contact. I promise y'all. The door does open before the train gets there, so we're good to go in that realm. I know it kind of cuts through, but I really like how this portion turned out. I really did. I think this adds a little extra element to the coaster as a whole. Now, we haven't finished putting up on the entrance building. And you see each where we have these paths. Think of these as little, I guess, scenes. They're not going to be intricate or like super detailed or tell a story for the most part. At least not really intending it that way. Just kind of like human versus alien kind of scenes, or aliens invading kind of a scene setup type of situation. So we got, let's see, 1 room, 2, 3, 4, about 5 rooms to do. The one on the left side there at the bottom, that's a pretty big one. That's going to be one whole thing. So it kind of is what it is in that realm. But I don't know. I think it's turning out pretty good for what I don't want to say for what we normally do, but I think it's still turning out pretty good for how we operate these rides. There's still so much left to do. There still really is in terms of in terms of finishing the entrance, the exit building where we're going to have souvenirs, we're going to have gift shop, we're going to have all that stuff going. Y'all know how I do if you've seen some of the other exit buildings that I have. It's going to be a little too much, a little too big, but that's how we operate. You know what I'm saying? At least that's the idea. Like I said, I've got it mapped out here with a little dirt line. I don't think that's going to be that big, because that is way bigger than what I thought it was. Let's be real. That just was. Planet Coaster can kind of do that to you. And it turns out to be a little bit bigger than what your eyes thought it was. So I expect that to probably change. But overall, I really like how we've kind of stuck to it with our pathwork layout for the queue line. It does go up and over and cross around. And then it kept the launch hidden. So you go in through the rest of it. Then you come through all these different turns. And we are going to put in an on-ride photo section as well. So you will go through all these different turns, and then you'll come back out into the thing. And it's a pretty fast but fun ride. So let's go ahead and jump into taking a look at the completed ride. So boom, here you go. We built our own little spaceships. We built a space defense base. We've got a bunch of stuff in there. Kind of spammed those spaceships once I built them. And I really designed those more or less off, I guess, taking the Planet Coaster pieces and making a jet out of it. These are crash scenes that we have, so you have crash jets all over the place. Think of these green things as, like, I guess, fuel or essential minerals and resources that the aliens are coming to try to suck out of the ground. They've got some stuff going already. We've got defense towers posted all over. I wish those could shoot. They can't. At least not that I was able to find that they could. So it's pretty nice. You got like a launch out into it. Then you go into basically what seems like a dogfight kind of scene is really what it is. Think a Top Gun, but with Planet Coaster and not very well done. That's what we're going with here. The first ship's giving chase. And then all of a sudden, do a turnaround, boom, you lose one ship. Now we've got the upper hand. We're giving chase. Now we're shooting them. We're blowing them up. There's planes all over the place. There's crashes. There's death. And this is what can kind of happen with block sections in terms of multiple coaster trains. The platform at times gets empty. So minor little detail, minor little setback. But still, it happens. I can live with it. I can deal with it. It's not that big of a deal to me. And the Planet Coaster peeps, they can live too. They'll be fine. All right, it ain't gonna hurt their feelers. It ain't no skin off their back. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do. It's dawning on me now. I do need to work on the lighting on the inside of the station. Actually, just a little bit better than what I. Jesus Christ, that's bright. I gotta watch this camera. Better than what I did, but I think it turned out pretty good. So here we are in the entrance queue. So you're taking a look at kind of the station setup. You have people watching over here. You're going to go through, get yourself x-ray scanned, a little tumor on down the line because those x-rays ain't going to kill you. There's a couple aliens looking pretty sneaky, if you ask me. And then here's these guys typing on the computer, and there's their supervisor supervising. I think the scene fits. I think it does. At least that's my own personal opinion. But that scene fits. Comes into here, boom, there's one of those little fuel source things, but now the chitskis hit the fan. Now we're shooting now. We got parts over here. Boom, aliens are firing back. We got an old style type of saloon shootout based in the future here. As we wind on through, come into this scene, just a basic scene with different items in it. Kind of keeping the color coding going. And then now we have aliens with a power source. And that's ominous. They shouldn't be in that power source. They shouldn't have control of it, but they do. They must have won at least a battle, right? But that's kind of the theory behind that at the bottom there. Now, while we do continue to take a look at some of these scenes, I do want to remind y'all to hit the subscribe button if you have not hit it already. And definitely give us a thumbs up if you are enjoying this video, enjoying the series, enjoying the coasters, and you're just overall enjoying Planet Coaster and the summer season theme park time coming back up, coming back around for us. So hit that thumbs up button. Remember to hit the subscribe. And don't worry, guys, we are going to have a POV as well as some cinematic shots here at the end of it as you see me zooming through these walls because I'm not very good at controlling the camera work. It's not my strong suit for certain, for sure. Like, it just isn't. But yeah, so the queue line path is going to come all the way around. Boop. Whoa. Keep coming, and boom, right down there. Threw myself out. All right, so this is where it spits you in at. I think the queue works really well. It sticks to the theme of the ride, and it was pretty fun to build. It was tedious. Don't get me wrong, it took me, and I don't work all day on these things. I think this one took over a period of like 4 or 5 days, maybe an hour and a half each day. You know, who knows, but that's kind of what it was. So, now speaking of the POV, we are about to jump into it here in just a minute, guys. So I am going to go ahead and hop off. I'm going to let y'all enjoy the ride, enjoy the cinematics, and I will see y'all in the next episode. So as always, everybody, stay safe, enjoy the ride, and, well, as we get set up here, you guys kind of know how it goes from here, right? Later, y'all.